crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
Chocolate, a famous snack loved by many. However, it wasn't like this. A long time ago, chocolate only used to exist in Mesoamerica. The chocolate back then didn't actually look like this. They looked more like this. This drink is called chilate. Early records state that the cocoa beans were ground and mixed with cornmeal and chili peppers. To create a bitter drink frothing with foam. They loved the foam, so they would pour the drink from one cup to another from standing height. If you think chocolate is a good food, well, the Aztecs believed something much more than that. They thought chocolate was a heavenly food gifted by them by a feathered god known as Quetzalcoatl by the Aztecs. As you can guess, chocolate was very valuable to them. They even used cocoa beans as currency and drank this drink at royal feasts. They gave it to soldiers too as a reward when they win a battle, and they also used it in their traditional rituals. But when Spanish people came from the old world to the new world in 1519, Hernan Cortez, the person who visited Tenochtitlan, the king of the Aztecs, had 50 jugs of this drink brought out and poured into golden cups. And when Hernan Cortez returned with shipments of the cocoa bean, people loved this new bean, and then they considered this bean as an aphrodisiac. An aphrodisiac is basically a love food that activates more love within you. And at first, because of its bitter taste, people thought it was suitable for medicine, like a headache. Sweetening it with honey, sugar, or vanilla, it made chocolate a popular delicacy in the Spanish country. And soon, no aristocratic home was complete without dedicated chocolateware. And this drink was difficult and time-consuming to produce on a large scale. And this involved slave labor imported from the coast of Africa. But the world of chocolate will soon change in 1828. The introduction of the cocoa press, invented by Conrad van Houten of Amsterdam. His invention would separate the cocoa's natural fat, also known as cocoa butter, and leave a powder that could be mixed into a drinkable solution, or it could be recombined with cocoa butter in later stages to create the solid chocolate we know today. But a few years later, in 1875, a Swiss chocolatier named Daniel Peter added powdered milk to the mix, thus inventing milk chocolate. And by the 20th century, chocolate was no longer the high class. It had become a treat for the public. But due to the massive demand for chocolate, this required more cultivation of cocoa. And cocoa can only be grown near the equator. And instead of African slaves being shipped, the plantations itself would shipped to West Africa, with Côte d'Ivoire providing 2/5 of the world's cocoa as of 2015. Yet along with the growth of the industry, there have been horrible abuses to human rights. Many Western chocolate companies use slave and child labor, and more than 2 million children are affected. And this is a huge problem that's still going on today. And many other chocolate companies are trying to partner with African nations to reduce this labor practices. Chocolate has established itself in the rituals of our modern culture. And due to its colonial association with native cultures like Mesoamerica, combined with the power of advertising, chocolate retains an aura of something amazing. Yet knowing more about its amazing and interesting, yet cruel and horrifying backstory, as well as its production today, it tells us where these originate from. So, when you eat something related to chocolate, like a chocolate bar, a hot chocolate, or others, take a moment to consider about its backstory, and that it might not be as sweet as you thought it was. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the history of chocolate. I hope you enjoyed that video. See you in the next video.